Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adobe Live Education Edition. My name is Claudio Zavala Jr. I'm one of the education evangelists at Adobe and based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And today we're excited because we're going to share with you how to inspire creative writing with generative AI in Adobe Express for Education. And with me,
Hi, everyone. I'm Wezi Thindwa. I'm also an education evangelist here at Adobe. And my home base is New York City. We are so excited to join with you today, and we would love to know where you are tuning in from. So use the chat. Let us know your location. Let us know your role in education. We want to hear from you. If you are looking to use more generative AI to ignite creativity in the classroom, to enhance descriptive writing, creative writing skills, you're in the right place.
and over the next 55 minutes, we're going to demonstrate techniques on how to transform the creative writing into a visual experience. Generative AI in Adobe Express for Education is designed for safe and responsible use, making it a perfect tool for K-12 classrooms.
Plus, Claudio will live demo the tools today. He's going to show you how to use them in your lessons right away. And so, Claudio, let's dive in and show how generative AI can inspire creativity in the classroom.
Yes, and actually, before we jump right in, Wesley, I've got a question for you. So why is it important to have students dive into the creative writing, and how do we connect all that and with creative skills?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I love this question. I taught writing for students, and it really does help students express themselves in a creative way. There's a reason why creativity is one of our highest orders of thinking. We want our students to think critically, we want them to build skills that are going to benefit them, college, career, and beyond. And it's more than just writing, it's about preparing them for the future.
Exactly, and that generative AI tools in Adobe Express can help those students build those skills. And sometimes, like if we have writer's block, but also enhancing the storytelling piece, bring their ideas like to life, and also like build fluency skills and writing, and just makes it fun as well.
Yeah, when students visualize their stories, they connect more deeply with their ideas. And as educators, Claudia, we know the type of transformative engagement that has, right? Like student
Yeah,
ownership yields retention, it brings enjoyment among other benefits. So let's see how these tools work.
absolutely. So let's dive in here, and we're gonna first one we're gonna dive into is like the AI with storytelling, Lizzie. I'm really excited about this, and so um this is going to be a lot of fun and going to generate some images for some stories. And this is something I did a while back. So we're going to put a story together.
Okay.
We're going to use the our creative writing piece, and we're going to drop it into the Adobe Express for EDU and create some images with some prompts. It's really fun. That so I warn you, it's going to be tons of fun. So
Well, I love that because generative AI, for one of my favorite uses, is creative storytelling. So I'm excited to see and show how we can use text to imagine that.
So this is a little story about a little brown bear, or a little bear that lost its honey pot. And so that's my little story that I'm going to put together. So what I'm going to do here is generate an image. First off, right here is going to start, and here it is, a cartoon small cuddly bear with a sad face standing in front of a cave because the little bear lost its honey pot. So we're going to go ahead and click generate, and we're going to get our image here generated for our little bear that just seemed to have he has lost his honey, and he does not know what to do. And so let's see what we get with our generation. Oh, look at that. It's just so cute right there. Like the poor little bear. And I'm going to do something here really quick as a tip for those of you who are watching is I'm just going to do a little resizing of my page right here in the back. And this right here is let's see here. We're going to go, because I have a square, or I'm going to go two ways. I'm just going to stretch out the image actually. So let's do this. Here's the tip. I'm going to hold down, it's an option key, and I'm going to stretch this out. Check that out. It's like it does it evenly on both sides, which is really nice here. So if you ever need help for that, hold that option button and you can resize. So let me just do a little adjusting here. So just make this just right. Here we go. Perfect. We got it. I got it. I think
Looks
aligned where I
good.
need it to be. Okay, so here's my set. So cartoon bear. Now, here's the other piece I'm going to do is, so my little bear, his name is Benny. And so we're going to add, so we've got that generation of the image. So, and to help us kind of guide the story. So this is about Benny. He wakes up and he's lost his beloved honeypot. It's missing. And so what I'm going to do here is add a little text here to kind of help tell the story. So we're going to do an add text here. And so here is, there's Benny the brown bear wakes up to find he lost his beloved honeypot. And so we're just going to add a little text box right here. So think of this like we're creating a little storybook right here, a little page here, and I'll make a little adjustment to that text just to make it more visible. And here's another AI piece that I always love to point out is the recommended fonts. You're
Yeah.
going to see these fonts up here. Something that's a little more, I would say, easier to read. We're going to view all and look at all these different options that come up. And
Yeah,
if
this
you're not,
serves as a great guide.
yeah, if you're not using this, everyone, definitely check it out, try it out, look at it. It's definitely something that could help, especially if you struggle with like, I just don't know style wise. So I like that one right there. I'm going to go with that. Had a nice looking font and just make some adjustments to it. This is just one of those things that I like to do here. So we got, look at Benny. There we go. Benny the brown bear wakes up and finds his beloved honeypot space. Okay, so Wezi, let's continue the story because I like that we're going to take this little brown bear to an adventure here. And so here's our first page.
Let's do it.
And what I'm going to do here is on the top right corner of our screen here, we have the little view all pages here. And I'm going to duplicate the page or here. I could either do it here, the plus sign, or up here. And I'm going to hit duplicate here. So I have a blank page. So now we got a blank canvas for our next story here. And so I'm going to double click here and we're going to go over here to our images, media, and we got photo. We're going to generate another image. So, and I got here, got a square. And for this next one, so now, Benny has, like I said, he's lost his honeypot. It's gone missing. And we're going to go and take him on his next scene here. So he's talking to a purple rabbit by the river, so he's trying to find out where his honeypot is. So we'll hit generate here. And I've added the word cartoon to my prompt because I wanted to have that style of a cartoon look. I don't want it to look so much like a realistic bear because Adobe Express will give us an image. Oh, look at that. So we get something that's close to our other bear, maybe something like that right here. To continue our story, I'm going to resize this to make it fit. So, so he's over there talking to the purple rabbit about his missing, um, honeypot. And so now what we'll do here, and now, excuse me, my voice here. And what I'm going to do here is continue the story, and I'm going to do a little, I would say, tip right here for everyone you're watching. I'm coming back to the first page and I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy that text. I'm going to drop it here. And then I've got the next piece of my story. And what I'm going to do here. So he's got he's at the brook and is Ruby the rabbit. We're going to call Ruby the rabbit. And so he meets Ruby the rabbit to talk about his missing honeypot. And look at that. So again, we're building our story. So if you think about the students, the creative writing, putting together their own story, and they get build this little wonderful book based on their own writing. So I'm going to do one more just because I know this, and many of you are going to be like this. Does Benny ever find his honeypot? Well, the story, yes, he does. I'll have to finish this up and then share it with you. So I'm going to do one more here, and then I'm going to add another element to this with our creative writing here. So let's do another page here. And so actually, I'm going to do something different here, Wezi. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go back to this thing. And instead of doing a blank page, I'm actually going to hit duplicate. And this will just save me a little extra step. So folks, if you're working on something like this, instead of going back and copying the text, if you duplicate, I've got the text already here. And so now I want to generate the next piece here. So we'll do a little fast forward, and let's just you're gonna see that I'm gonna fast forward to the end so you can see. What do you think? Whether should I fast forward to the end so they can kind of see how it ends, at least so people aren't on a cliffhanger, or should we just leave people on a cliffhanger and then
You
share
know
the
what? As
what
much
do
as
you
I
think?
love a cliffhanger, I think we should show them the end.
Okay, all right. Let's show the end here, and then what I'll do is I'll finish this story out and share it on social. So I'm gonna click here to the image and generate the image. So yes, he did lose his honeypot. He goes through
No.
this travel, but eventually he does find his honeypot. So we're gonna put here Benny the bear is finding his honeypot, and we're going to wait for this little image to generate here. Ah, look at there. He's back. He's got his
I
honey
love
pot.
it.
And then we'll add our little text to the story here. With his honey pot safely in his paws, Benny happily returns home. So yes, he does find his honey pot at the very end of the story. And so I will continue. I will work on this story so you guys can see the full story. But think of the possibility with this for
Hmm.
your students. Now, one of the other elements that you can add is another layer to the story. So we've used our generative AI to make the image, and we duplicated, generated multiple images. Is the other thing that we can do is, and I'll do it on this page, is we can add our voice to the story here. So this is, I think, just another powerful way for students to express their stories. And so what I'll do here is I'll come up to our media, go to audio, and I'll do a little record voiceover. So here you see my little the little meter there, and so what I'll do is I'll just read what it says there. So we'll click start recording, and with his honeypot safely in his paws, Benny happily returns home. And there it is. So now I've got my little story here. Let's with his honeypot safely in his paws, Benny happily returns home. Hopefully, we're able to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome, perfect. So if you think about now, we can continue this story, go back from the beginning. So think about this as a way for students, creative writing, storytelling, telling their own stories, putting them
Hmm.
together, adding their voice, generative AI. They're just like so much, so powerful. And then download this project, and you could download it as either like single images and print them out, or download as a movie file, and then you have a little story to tell. So
Yeah,
very cool.
love it. This is incredible for just, as you said, Claudio, helping students build those descriptive languages using compelling visuals. When we have compelling visuals, we want to tell the story, right? We want to
Yeah.
be descriptive. And so it's really great for covers, for illustrations, and just that little touch, that magic touch of adding your voice to it just takes it to a new dimension as well. And Claudia, I wanted to give a few folks some shout out in the
Yes.
chat. We have folks joining us from all over. We've got Mr. Nance from Virginia. Hello,
Hey,
Brad Nance
hello.
from Virginia. Hey, Shel, our colleague Shel's joining us from Portland,
Shell.
Oregon. We've got Tobias Kedner. Please forgive me if I mispronounce your names. But Mr. Carpenter's class in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Thank
Oh,
you for
hey.
joining us. Hey, Mr. Cosgrove, it's Tim. We love to see it.
Hey,
Hi,
Tim, how are
joining
you?
us from Toronto, and we've also got Idarek Pope. They are joining us as well. I'm not quite sure where from, but we can certainly would love to know. Let us know in the chat. So
Oh,
thank
so
you
good.
all for tuning in. Hello, hello. And we would also love to hear how you all are experiencing the magic of generative AI in Adobe Express as we go along. So,
Love
Claudio,
it. Love it. Yes.
over to you. What's next for us?
So I think we're going to dive into a little multimedia
Yeah,
here. So let me hit the rainbow A. We're going to
the
go
Rainbow
back.
A. The
Rainbow
Rainbow
A.
A always
The
takes
rainbow
us home.
A. Take us home. Take me home to the rainbow A. There we go. I made just a little song right there. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna create a multimedia project, and with this one, I think I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna get a little bit into my nerdy science self here,
Yep.
and like how we can use AI to tell a story. It's like maybe use it like in a science lesson or science or history class. And so what I want to do is I'm going to use the animate characters, but also embed some generative AI to tell the story of some famous scientists and like scientific discovery. So that's kind of what I'm going to be building, a little multimedia project based on scientific discovery. So,
Love
uh,
that. Multimedia projects with generative AI, and just using that add-on and building on to enhance students' digital literacy as well.
yeah.
Claudio, I have a little thing with multimedia projects. You mind if I
Yes.
share?
Yes. Go ahead.
So I love this because it allows students to kind of just explore the depth of a project, and you never know what you can unlock with students when it comes to creativity, right? So
Love it.
one of the biggest benefits of using Adobe Express for multimedia projects is that it allows students to communicate their ideas in diverse and meaningful ways. And so instead of just relying, on one form of a traditional assignment, students can combine them. They can combine the text, they can combine the compelling images, they can add
Love
the
it. Love it.
animations, like you were saying, the voiceovers, and they can really put that together to make magical digital stories. But
Love
it
it.
also just helps them develop those essential skills. We want our students to be communicators, critical thinkers, collaborators. And so the multimedia projects are really, really supportive and can really enhance those skills for our students.
I love that. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go. This is one of those, I would say, this is a fan favorite, the animate character. So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna launch the animate characters here, and a few things first. I want to do is set this up because I'm gonna use a character to talk about a scientific discovery. He's gonna tell us a little bit about a scientist as well. So first off, let me go ahead and adjust this size. I'm gonna go with a landscape size because going to be using this in Adobe Express. We're going to open in the editor here. And for the background, I'm actually going to make it transparent because we're going to use generative AI on the next step here. And for character, and I was told I need to use a different voice this time. So I'm going to go with a different character here.
We love your voices.
I know. So let's see here. Oh, look at this. We got some like these characters here. So let me see. I think one that will fit this character here. Let's do.
You know what's
Do you have a
interesting?
recommend?
We end up getting our favorite characters. So folks who are joining and tuning us in, if you've got a favorite character in this animate feature, let us know who is your go-to or what is your go-to character in there. Mine's Dory. Dory's my homegirl.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we tend to have our favorites for sure.
And I love pirate. So I'm gonna go with Sawyer this time. I'm gonna go.
So yeah.
Sawyer is a little kind of I would say a pioneer type person. Not saying that it was in the same time frame as the scientific discovery, but we're just gonna use him to give a little history lesson. And so we got transparent background and just reminding everybody enhanced speech. If you haven't tried that, use it. But I'm right here by myself, so I don't have a room full of other students to need to use it. So here we go. This clearer voice. And we're not going to go with pirate voice. We're going to do a little Sawyer voice. So here we go. Let me get my Sawyer voice ready to go. And I'm going to give you a little something about the scientific discovery. So here it is. Can you imagine a world without phone calls? Neither could Alexander Graham Bell. In 1876, he invented the telephone, allowing people to talk to each other over long distances for the first time ever. Fast forward to today, and we have smartphones, video calls, and instant global communication, all thanks to Bell's breakthrough. So next time you send a text, give a little shout out to history. All right, there was my little Sawyer voice.
Love it.
Little raspy, but I guess it fits. It works out with this right now. So we're talking about Alexander Graham Bell. That's the invention, having to do with communication, telephone, old-fashioned telephone. So we're gonna go ahead and let so this right here is the animate characters, but still using AI right here because it's listening to my voice and it's going to make this Sawyer character like basically lip sync what I was saying. Oh, I haven't tried singing on here. Maybe like I need to try a song at some
Oh,
point.
we definitely need to hear
We need that. That
Claudio
would be.
Zavala Jr. singing on
Yep.
there. And we've got, let's see, we've got Mr. Carpenter's character, Red Lips. The lips are hilarious.
Oh my God,
So
yes.
we know that those are fan favorites for sure. We've got the Hedgehog has been called out as a favorite
Hedgehog.
character. Yep.
The lips remind. I always think of. I'm definitely gonna age myself, but Rocky movies with like what's the wrestler? Oh my god, I'm going blank. But his name character name is Thunderlip. So every time I see those lips in the anime character, I always think of Rocky with when he's fighting the wrestler, which is hilarious. Thunderlip. So
Thunderlip
here
sounds like a villain.
he was in it, yeah,
Ah,
in that show, like the bad guy wrestler. Okay, so here we go. It's getting our animate character ready to go. And so if you notice right here, I have the option. We're going to open up in the editor. So this is going to allow me now to add some more dynamics to this project here. So that we're going to see there's Sawyer right here. Let's hit a little play. Can you imagine a world without phone calls? All right, perfect. So I think we've got the voice here. So now let's go here and the background just to show you. So there's our background. There's nothing there. I remove the color. And so now we're going to use AI here to create our nice little background talking about Alexander Graham Bell. So let's go here to media. We're going to generate image and we're going to go with lens widescreen right here and just move this a little bit. So for this one, again, we're going to use we're going to create, because I'm thinking of Alexander Graham Bell and where he was working in I would say a scientist, or maybe he was working in his garage, trying, putting all these wires together. So I'm going to try to create like I would say like a garage or a workshop with all these types of wires everywhere. So let's say a workshop with wooden tables and wires all over the floor. Oh, let's see. And let's see. And
yeah.
wires.
And here's
Wires.
that descriptive language coming into play, showing your understanding of the setting and the background, the story, the character. Really a great space for students to get creative with their language here.
And here we go. And wrap this with old telephones scattered around. So let's see what AI does as far as the interpretation here. Scattered all over the room here. And, let's see here. And let's hit generate. Let's see what happens. So yeah, you were saying being very descriptive, the language here. So so my thought as I was working on this was, so here's my character here. Ooh, ooh, oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. These are like even better than what I was like looking
Wow,
for.
look at that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna grab this one here and we're gonna stretch this out. Now it's okay,
Wow.
Sawyer's still there, but we're gonna just move Sawyer here and just maybe resize Sawyer just a little bit here. So this is like he's our little character that's talking about Alexander Graham Bell. And look at that. Oh my gosh. This is Wezi. These are like this is
This is amazing.
oh my gosh. I'm gonna hit generate more just because I want to see what else is there. I mean, look at that.
Yeah, and I'm going to shout out Mr. Cosgrove because he said his students love using Gen AI for their social studies inquiry project and web pages, and like this is a great example of using just for that content area too. And look at the amazing visual you were able to come up with. But I do also love that you showed that skill, Claudio, of the layering. That's a really handy feature to know on that far right side where you can reorder
Yeah.
all of the objects on your page.
Right over here. Okay,
Hmm.
so wow, this is even. I mean, here's another quick tip right here. So because I brought him in from animate characters, I'm just gonna this basically, if I go too far, I'll cut him off. We don't want to do that. We just want to make sure that I can click over here. But this is like even better than I
So
expected. Like,
good.
oh my gosh, I'm so like, wow, this is just blown away. This is amazing. So
Yes,
I'm
Shel.
blown away. So this is okay. Let's listen to like the final project here. Can you imagine a world without phone calls? Neither could Alexander Graham Bell. In 1876, he invented the telephone, allowing people to talk to each other over long distances for the first time ever. Fast forward to today, and we have smartphones, video calls, and instant global communication, all thanks to Bell's breakthrough. So next time you send a text, give a little shout out to history. All right. This is a lot better than oh
Snaps
wow.
from me.
I love that. So download this as a video file and you can share it out. What do you think, Wesley?
Oh, I'm agreeing with those in the chat. Mr. Nat said you're the voiceover artist. Derek Paul from Phoenix loves it. I love it too. It looks amazing. And Claudio, this is your thing right now.
I guess that's one of those things I've like I've always wanted to be a cartoon voice, and now I get to do it, so it's just fun and with students. So yeah, everyone think about building this multimedia projects like this, adding we've got aspects of animate character, we got generate image, and if I
Yep.
want to go further, I can come back to the generated image right here, and I can insert, like, let's say I want to describe Alexander Graham Bell, maybe sitting down, a scientist sitting down at the desk, like working. I could even add that if I wanted to. So much more to this. Like, you can get as descriptive and as creative as you want with this project.
Absolutely. Animate characters is such a great way to combine writing with the multimedia, as you can see, this multimedia storytelling and just making the lessons more engaging. I love this. Claudio, when you were just now even talking about building on that character, that insert object can really add even more depth and understanding, right? Making thinking visible to
I
your prompt that you already have going. So
love it.
that's that's a really great example of how we can use multimedia to enhance that student descriptive language experience and storytelling experience.
Love it. Love it. So, um, Wezi, if we can use generative AI in education, what do you think if we can use it to? Well, we did that, but like creating new worlds, like just get creative. Like, well, I'm still in the vein of science fiction here, a little bit, but think of like if we're like creative writing, but also like create our own worlds.
I'm intrigued. This gives me all kinds of creative writing goosebumps. So show me, what do you mean
All right,
creating
so
new worlds? I want to know what's in your brain now.
okay, so one of our colleagues, Matt Carlson, created this really cool world building template. So we're going to use that. It's like building like your own ecosystem using prompts and using AI. So we're going to use um his template here. It's a world building workshop. So we're going to like design our own world. And this is fun because first of all, it's like you can get really creative with it, but also like we're building those skills like fluency skills and writing. This is all about
Hmm.
that creative writing. So here's a template, and then what I'm going to do is like remix this design, and I'm gonna create this world. So I've actually took a little bit of time to think about this, and so first off, we have this starting page, expedition name. Hello, we are. So I'm gonna call this. So again, super nerdy. Here we go. This is Zorvella 9 Expedition. That's the name of this planet. Zorvella 9.
So Vela 9.
Okay, so we got our second page here. So here's the cool thing. We're gonna describe this planet. So planet is Zorvella 9. So here we go. And definitely I am very much a sci-fi geek, everyone. You're probably finding that out as I do this right here.
No.
No, no way, Claudio. Come on. Okay, so we have these descriptions here. Describe your planet. How does it appear? So what I did
Mhm.
is I took a little bit of time to like think about coming up with a prompt. Now I did a little, preparing for this, so that way you're not seeing me typing, because I really thought about this. And so here's what my planet is going to be. So we have this generate image box. And so here's my Zorvella night. So I'm thinking like my planet has like this luminary type sea, like these sand dunes and all these crystalline formations and towers. And so, well, here we go. We're gonna put this here. So my prompt is very detailed. So a vibrant alien planet with swirling violet and emerald green hues. I'm gonna go ahead and generate as I read this. Glowing golden streaks and three iridescent rings, surface crystalline spires with plasma bursts, a glowing bioluminescent ocean, and whispering desert sands that
Ooh,
echo past sounds. Okay,
that description. Wow, look at
look at that.
that.
Zorvella 9.
Look at Zorvella 9.
There's my Zorvella 9. So I'm going to
What
click
a
here.
fantasy.
Look at this. Here's another view from Zorvella 9 if I wanted to, but I'm going to hit generate a couple more times here. But this is such a fun activity.
Super
If
fun.
you've not played with this template, I mean, this is totally creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
and then you're using generative AI. Ooh, like this. Well, this one's kind of cool. Feels it seems like it's like
Ooh,
emerging out. Okay,
yeah.
there's so many. This is the hard part is try picking the one you want. So
I know. You've got so many great ones to
I'm
pick
gonna
from.
I'm gonna go with this one, and just for the time, I'm not gonna go and type in here, but everything that I just said, it's got the shifting spires, whispering sand dunes, and I would put all this here. But I'm just gonna do maybe a couple more here
Okay.
of this. So the environment for Zorvela 9, it's got, like I said, it's got these dunes and
Mm-hmm.
fields and tides. So I came up with like this landscape look for this. Here's a very super descriptive here, and I'm going to hit generate, and then I'll read my prompt as it's going. So surreal alien landscape featuring these crystalline mountains with energy, bioluminescent oceans, and whispering deserts and plasma storms cracking
Wow.
like jagged spires, misty coastlines, and eerie sand dunes. So let's see what we.
That's
Oh,
so poetic, Claudio. And I think a lot of us can relate to writer's block, and especially even as students, it can be difficult to get what's in here out here. And so this is something when you start to see these visuals and what you can generate, it really does encourage you to use more language precision, to get more inventive and imaginative with what you want to create. So I can definitely see this template being really transformative, especially for those that might get stuck in thinking about what to envision or what to write and express next.
yeah.
Shel has also dropped the link to the world building
Yay.
template in the chat. You can find it and you can try it too at adobe.ly/world building capital A, capital I. That is a case sensitive link. And I 100% agree with you, Tim. So many creative opportunities using generative AI in the classroom. Creative writing is alive and well, he says. Yeah, we agree, 100,000%. And also want to welcome Michael Devola in. Hi, it's
Hey,
good to
Michael, how
see
are
you.
you?
Thank you
Awesome.
for joining us.
We appreciate you all. So yeah, definitely try this out. I mean, we can spend the whole time with this. This is a lot of fun. Everyone, definitely try this out. You will do a deep dive into this, and I mean, it is tons of fun. I mean, the generative AI, but like think about the creative way you can describe these planets, this world that you're creating. You can create the species, like the different fauna and environment. So try it out. Like, um, totally highly recommend to give it a shot. So, um, Wezi, what do we have next? What do we jump into here so we can um I want to stay on this, but like I know
I
we gotta move
know.
on.
Well, by providing multiple avenues for self-expression, we're seeing just all of these ways that Adobe Express can empower all of our learners. And so, including our multilingual students and those with different learning styles, showcase their understanding in ways that resonate with them, whether it's the voiceover, whether it's the descriptive writing and the language precision that they're using in that prompt engineering, whether it's using compelling visuals to spark more ideas. And so, there's so much more that can inspire that thinking, that creative storytelling,
Love it.
and that can also drive the visualization of our imagination, because ultimately that's what the stories do, right? They're bringing to
Yes.
life
Yes.
our imagination. So we are going to explore the drawing tool within Adobe Express.
Yeah, and then think about like how we can use this as like a sketch tool, like create visual storyboards for the
Mhm.
writing piece. That could be a launching point. So a lot of many people can do the writing piece first and then drawing, but I think for many the storyboarding, I know that helps me for when I'm filming video, the
Mhm.
storyboarding piece, and then from there, like definitely build all this. So I'm gonna jump into the drawing tool here,
Yeah. And while you're
and
doing that, it is a very versatile tool, right? Like that, just the storyboards, as you were saying, graphic novels comes to mind for me, diagrams for science fiction stories. So there are lots of possibilities with this, including a built-in scaffold for younger students to stay in the lines. But we're going to get into some of that.
yeah, yeah. So I'm thinking like I'm thinking like a little story that I'm thinking when my daughter was young, and I'm going to do like a quick sketch of like to help me, because I'm going to use this to help me like build a story here, and it was actually a story about a little dog. So a little boy and a little dog, and so I'm just going to use kind of like my stick figure to help me out. And I'm doing all this with my mouse, everyone. So so it's got this little guy here, and his name was Piku, a little boy named Piku, and so
Piku.
and he had his little adventures with his with a little dog. It's like a dog that's kind of got like a woof, a breed type of dog. So yeah, we're this is my stick figure dog. All
You
right,
know,
everyone.
I won't judge your stick figure dog. It looks like a stick figure dog. Like you
There we
got
go.
this.
And so and this these they hang out kind of like in kind of like in the wilderness. So this is gonna be like represents like my tree right here. And then they're like they live kind of like in the mountain area. So I'm gonna kind of in the background right here. See, this is going to be like this the snow capped mountains here. So then we got all these trees right here. Now I could have gone and changed all the colors to represent the items here, but I'm just kind of building this as a sketch point,
Yeah,
as a jumping board to
right.
like my story. Like I'm building that story. So it was a story. This is Piku, and his name is Piku, and then the dog's name was Gray. And so they had these adventures that they had, and this was little stories that I would tell my daughter when she'd go to sleep. And so maybe someday, maybe now I has a good time where I can start actually create the actual book, like put it into book form, having like these tools like Adobe Express for education to do this. So this is like my really rough draft. Let's put some clouds up here in the sky. So I think like this drawing tool is a great way to like get those ideas onto
Hmm.
like somewhere so you can see and visualize it. And then from here, like take this, and then I'm going to create a prompt for this. Like I'm going to use this as like the basis for my prompt,
Cool.
but also like thinking of writing of the drawing tool, not just for like sketches, but like you said, storyboarding, but also like you can do like mapping of your stories, like
Yep.
sequencing the stories, and then this is just help you from here take visuals and then build a prompt from based on what you see, and to go to our next thing, which would be something like using what are we taking this from here, Wezi? What are we doing from here?
Well, I'm glad that you showcase this feature and that you're talking about using it as a launch pad because as we're focused on generative AI for today, we have an element in drawing that allows students to expand their imagination further with that AI. So next we're going to show you all how to generate color pages within drawing. And so just want to say some highs for new folks that have joined us. Thank you and welcome. Hey, Samar. We've got Swifty13 that has joined us, and Cosma. That
Hey,
is Anne is one of our Adobe K-12 education community managers. Thank you for joining us, Anne. She's talking about just shout out for leveling up the creative writing, and thank you, Sean Starlight, for your gratitude about sharing these features with these demos and this announcement. So let's keep
yay!
going, Claudio.
All
Let's
right,
let's get into it.
so cool. So I've got okay. So I'm just gonna kind of visual here now. One thing I can do is I'm gonna do a little quick download of this just so I can have it as a reference here. I'm gonna do a little something that I do here is I'm gonna open up my little file here so I can kind of refer to it when as I put. So there's my drawing, and then from here I'm going to generate coloring page. And so I got it right there. All right, so let's see. So we're going to have a young boy standing next to a wolf. I'm just going to put wolf puppy because he's kind of like a wolf dog. So we're going to put a wolf puppy in the forest near snow-capped mountains.
Snow-capped mountains. I love a snow-capped mountain.
Yeah, so like if I just put mountains, it's just gonna give me like mountains, but like let's see. And I'm gonna put here with uh clouds, with small clouds in the sky. All right. So that's my prompt. I'm gonna go copy that so I can have it. And it's it generate. So yeah, I'm using my little drawing here as my kind of idea. and help me build that prompt. So again, using that as a starting point, and then I was able to build a nice little coloring page or prompt based on my little drawing. Okay, so here we have the different generations here. I'm gonna hit generate more. Right now I see one that I like, that may be the one, but I just want to see what else I get here. I love it. Like, so right now this is the one that I'm kind of like leaning to, but I just want to see
Mm-hmm.
what, oh yeah, like,
Ooh.
oh okay. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. This one is just almost like exactly what I had in mind. And Piku
Oh,
and Gray. Look at
look
that.
at Piku and Gray
And
with
Piku
their
and Gray.
snow-capped mountains in the back.
Okay. Now I didn't get any trees, but I could always draw some trees in here. So
You can add them, yeah.
so let's do just kind of really quick, just to say, let's go with our sky. Let's do the sky here. And let's see. And one thing that's really neat right here, look at that, is see how it doesn't fill. Let's see. Let's do this. Right there. Well, we don't
Whoa.
want to color his face. Let's do it right here. There we go. And now it is touching inside here because we don't have this closed off, which is all right because we're going to be able to color around it. So,
Yeah.
all right, so we got
All
that.
good.
And then if I want to here, let's go with some brown here, and then I can over that other one. So we got this mountain right here. Look at that.
Nice.
Love it. So cool. Let's resize this, and then we're going to touch this one here. Don't have to worry about coloring outside the lines. And then we can color around that one. And it should not fill the snow. Yeah, see that? Look at that.
Nice. It went right around that snow.
Now I'm using my mouse. Like if you've got a touch screen, if your students have touch screens, that's going to be very helpful. And look at that. I'm not coloring inside. Uh, little gray right there. And okay, and I think right here I'll kind of stop it, just so you don't have to watch me color the whole entire thing. But if you think about it, so like we think about the process, like this is like a total creative process
Mm-hmm.
embedded in this type of generative AI. So we start off with the sketch of something that we wanted to, talk about, or our idea, and then taking it from that sketch and going over to using generate the coloring page, using the generative AI to bring our idea
Right.
to life right here, which is pretty pretty cool. If you've not tried this,
Yeah.
highly recommend to dive into this. Like if you're not using this, you got to.
And as we know, when we talk about student ownership of their work, it makes it so much more exciting when you are creating the visuals for your own work, your own stories. And this is just a great example of combining art and storytelling in a cool, hands-on way, maybe a way that we've never tried it before. So I love this feature, Claudio, and I can see how it's easy to get lost in really bringing your own characters to life, huh?
Absolutely. As you were talking, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do a little touch, a little coloring, and see. Look at this. See. Oh my gosh.
That's a
This,
nice blue for Piku's sweatshirt there.
and then let's give him black hair. Oh my gosh. Well, like Wezi, you can definitely get lost in this
Uh-huh.
right here. Look at that. Okay. I I'm gonna finish this up at another time, and
I know
there's
you
this
will.
like Piku and Gray. Oh my gosh! Like think of like this story that I've had like in my mind for like my daughter's 20 now. It's like this, maybe she was 5 when I would tell her 15 years. Like these stories have been in my mind, and it's like now I can use something like this to bring the story and then like create a little coloring page maybe for some kiddos to read about Piku and Gray. So
Claudia, you just got a major compliment from Tim Needles. What's up,
oh.
Tim? He said Claudio via Bob Ross.
Oh my god. Oh, happy. What is it? Happy mistakes, or what does it say? These are happy mistakes. Is that what the phrase? Yeah,
Yeah.
happy mistakes. Yeah, this is. I mean, gosh, I love it.
Yes.
I'm. I won't say my age. You could probably guess my people. You guys can guess my age, but like, you're never too old for this. You're never too
No.
old. Like, I think like any student can use this at any age level. So
Any of us kids. Any of us. And
Absolutely.
Judy, you've named it too. It is very satisfying. Just like coloring in those lines, not going outside of it. It's very, very cool.
It is very calming. It's very
Mm-hmm.
calming.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
go ahead, was I'm sorry. Was I
oh
interrupting?
no, it's fine. I know that Claudia that I could leave you here and you could just keep going with your illustrations for the stories, which I would happily watch for hours and hours. But I know that we need to keep going. So let's explore the use of text effects, generative AI for creative poetry.
Oh my gosh, poetry.
That was like a drum roll moment. So this allows students to just quickly create polished visuals for their writing, the poetry. And what a great way to do this to start off is with an acrostic poem.
I love it. I love it. Okay, yes, I think this is a fantastic idea. So, let's think. Okay, I'm gonna go with a word here. First off, let's go down. So I'm back on the home screen, and I'm gonna scroll down here to we get to our generative AI section here. Here's our text effect. If you haven't played with this, you're gonna love this. Um, so I'm gonna use the word. Our acrostic poem is gonna be play, right?
Nice.
Playing, and so for the first word is I'm going to say for the letter P, I'm going to have the letter P. I'm going to describe how I want the text. I'm going to say sparkly yellow lights. So I'm going to generate sparkly yellow lights. Okay. Now, by default, we have this. It pops up right here with
Ooh,
the word
can't go
make.
wrong with sparkly yellow
Yeah.
lights.
So that we have all these different. So we got this one right here. Make. My gosh. Okay. So now, since I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna type the letter P. Now, one thing I recommend when you're using the text effect is the fatter, chunky letters. Always, to me, I think they stand out better because they have more space, more area for
Yep.
the effect to take place. So,
Hmm.
recommend. Look at that. So it was like the Christmas style lights. Look at that. God, this is like so much fun. All
Yeah,
right,
you
so
get to see the detail more when they're wider like that.
okay, so I've got P. So here's play. Now, what I'm going to do first here, Wezi, and do a little. I'm going to resize my my page here, and so I'm going to go. Let's see here. Let's see, 8.5 by 11, and we're going to resize it just so that I can make this.
Yeah,
So because I'm going to have
that
the poem
vertical.
that
Hmm.
vertical, yeah. So I'm going to resize this and make it a bit smaller. Okay, and this is a tip here, and I've seen people do this, and it's like, oh, this is a great idea. So he's kind of like a little shortcut is instead of like starting over from scratch, it's like click on the menu option right here
Hmm.
and duplicate this.
Nice.
And so we're going to do it two more times
For all the letters.
for all the letters.
Hmm. So that
And the
ensures that you get them all the same size and positioning.
yeah, and then after I'm gonna have one tip I'm gonna share, but I'm gonna wait till I generate the text here because it may shift here. So now the next letter is in play is L, and so let me click here. I'm gonna type in capital L, and so I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to just refresh here. We're gonna click on text here, and then over here on the left hand side we see generate text effect. That'll bring us back
Hmm.
to the text effect. So sparkly yellow lights, we're going to change this out. We're going to make this blue bubbles. You're going to hit generate. And so hopefully my L will have kind of blue bubbles look
There
to
it
it.
is.
Yeah, let's zoom in a bit there. So we got like different blue bubbles. Now I wasn't specific on a type of bubbles. Like I didn't say like foamy bubbles or like bubble gum. So when I said bubbles, it gave me bubbles, and I think all of those look great. Uh, ooh, I think I'm gonna go with that one right there. So kind of
Ooh, I
got it.
like
Almost has
it.
that. It almost has like a
What?
water
Yeah.
look to it. So let's move on to the next one here. So doing the duplication is one of those things that definitely helps with the workflow of a project like this. So we got PL. So now, oh, I need to letter A, and we're gonna go back to text effect here, and it's gonna refresh here in a sec. So for the letter A, I'm gonna say purple and green feathers.
Ooh, nice. That feels very New Orleans. New Orleans.
Oh wow, that looks great. Like I was like, I had a different look like in mind. That came out even better than
Yeah, you
I
can
was
see the
hoping.
texture in that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let me do a little zoom in. Look at that. Oop.
Ooh,
Okay, and then we're gonna go to our last letter here for our acrostic poem here. So we got play, and if for play, we're gonna go with some puffy clouds and generate
fluffy
here for some
clouds.
puffy
There we
clouds.
go.
Ugh, look at that little cotton. Look at that. So cool. Okay, so I hit generate a few more times just to see
Nice.
what other ones I get. I think I like that one. It kind of has that blue. Oh, I don't know. I think that one overrides it. That one,
That
I think
one definitely gives more of those like Cloud9 vibes.
for, that is for sure. Okay, so let me fit everything back. Let me fit the page. All right. So here's like one of those tips that I want to share with you all is let's just say I'm going to do this. Let's say you had the letters all kind of like disorganized and like
Fun.
for me, like I think symmetry is, I like symmetry, things to be aligned. So if you select all of the items, if you've not played with this, right up here. So we've had this align feature for a bit, but there's some
Hmm.
things in there you may not know is available. So I'll hit align here. So first off, I'm gonna, if I say middle, it's gonna align them all in the middle, but I don't want that. I want them aligned to the center. So now they're all center aligned, or I can make them left aligned. In this
Mm.
case, maybe that looks a little better here. But then here's the other one. See this distribute option?
Mm-hmm.
So it will basically put the even amount of space between the letters, similar to a lot of other Adobe tools like InDesign does some of that in like Illustrator. So if I hit, look at that, now it's evenly spaced out. It's
Nice.
like very
Oh,
subtle, very subtle,
yep.
but that would save you time of manually before you actually had to manually go and like click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. And so there we go. We've got our option now. The next piece, so we've got play. So this is my acrostic poem. Now, what I'm going to do here, this next piece, I can continue to use the generative app. I'm just going to go with some simple text and simple text. So right here is we're going to take. So this is my acrostic poem, and
Mm-hmm.
so I wrote a poem for all of you all, so you can see like play. So here we go. Paint your world with bright colors, with colors.
Oh.
Wait, paint your world with colors bright. Okay, almost kind
Mm-hmm.
of Yoda esque.
It's poetry.
Here we go. So let me just make an adjustment, and I'm going to use my same trick here for the piece here. We're going to go duplicate. Now here's another shortcut. Command D. Let's see here. Duplicate. I think my keyboard's kind of stuck right now. So let's go. We're going to go the same thing here, and look at that. See those little lines.
Yep.
Those are alignment lines, so you can use those to help you align so they're all the same. And then we just do a little slight adjusting of this one right here. And then one more. We're gonna duplicate this last one. So you want to see the rest of my poem, everyone, here. So there we go. All
Beautiful.
right.
And Claudia, we've got about just under 2 minutes, and I would love to hear the poem, but I really love that you're showing these placement skills and features that can really save time and efficiency and just give it that
Perfect. Yeah.
really refining touch.
For the sake of time, I'll go ahead and read the poem to you also because I've,
Yeah,
I've
let's hear
actually got
it.
okay. So paint your world with colors bright, laugh and learn with pure delight. Always dream and dare to try. Your creativity can touch the sky.
Oh, yes.
So there you
Claudio
go.
Zavala. You got to sign off on that
Sign
poem.
Claudio Zavala
Zavala
signing.
Jr. Yep.
There we go. So that is the poem. So creative writing, creative poetry using the text effects with the acrostic poem. So
Beautiful.
awesome. I love beautiful. This has been so much fun, Wezi.
It
Like it's been a ton of
has.
fun. So now that you've seen a lot of this in action, let's think of how they can fit into K-12 classroom.
Yeah, generative AI can make the writing process more interactive. For example, using the text to image helps students visualize those ideas while animate characters as that dynamic and multimedia element to their storytelling.
Absolutely. There it's perfect for engaging the students and enhancing their understanding of creative writing. And it's also easy to use for both teachers and students.
Well, what an incredible overview of these tools, Claudio. There's even more to come. Adobe Express continues to evolve, as we know, adding features that make teaching and learning even easier.
We'll be sharing more tools, techniques to enhance the classroom. So stay tuned for updates that will make collaboration and design seamless.
Absolutely. We're excited to continue engaging with you all in creativity.
We want to thank you all for joining us. So everyone who's here, hopefully you shared where you're joining from. It's been such a pleasure to share with you all this. And if there's anything that you liked about it, give it like a thumbs up. I like what was your favorite piece from today? Let us know.
Yeah, and don't forget to explore those features, bring them to your classrooms, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next live stream.
Yeah, and speaking of the live streams, if you haven't had a chance, like I know many of you are on social and are following us and see our updates, be sure to follow us and follow the Adobe for Education on Instagram and all their socials, where you can see updates when we're having these events, these student live streams. So today is our teacher one, but next week, next Tuesday, we'll have our student one. So be sure to join those sessions at our link. It's adobe.ly/ capital Adobe, capital Live, and then capital EDU. So adobe.ly/ Adobe Live EDU.
Until next time, everybody, keep inspiring creativity with your students in those classrooms. We love to see it. We want to see you on social, hashtag Adobe EDU Creative. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us.